With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the Soul of Excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
Welcome, my friends, to the Wednesday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. If you would like to be on the program this afternoon, 800-848-9222 is how you reach us, 800-848-9222. It has been one busy kind of day. As always, that's the case every single day. And today is no different. I love that, first of all, for our many affiliates, let me beg your indulgence a moment if you are listening to us outside of the New York tri-state area, because my lead today is a very quick one. Donald Trump, let me just set it right. When it became apparent that Donald Trump was going to be the next president of the United States after the election was over, the New York politicians were most unhappy, as they always are. So their governor there, who is a pretty inept governor, even as Democrat governors of New York go, Kathy Hochul, decided that she was going to punish New York City and punish Trump at the same time. She has no real love for New York City, but just make matters worse by putting in this incredibly obscene congestion pricing in Lower Manhattan, which would just outrageous tolls on people trying to go past a certain point in the city, and especially its effects on businesses and on consumers. So she was going to do this last year, but she thought about it. It was an election year. No, didn't want to hurt the Democrats by causing so much outrage. As soon as the election was over and she saw it was Donald Trump, let's stick it to the voters, and who cares? Well, the Trump administration now has said no. We are withdrawing the Department of Transportation's, which under Joe Biden had okayed this horrible plan. Now, yesterday, there were protests, as there are every single day, by Democrats protesting Trump, protesting Elon Musk, protesting more Trump, protesting the latest cuts to their budget and spending. And yesterday, actually Monday it was, on President's Day, a lot of these protesters redubbed the holiday. They renamed it. They said they were celebrating No King's Day. No King's Day, as if Donald Trump is, of course, the king, not a duly elected president. And I just love the way that Donald Trump trolls these people, trolls them right back. So when he announced that congestion pricing was dead, which he said in all caps on his Truth Social site, congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. He put saved in caps. Then he posted, all caps, long live the king. And you know that is just going to infuriate these people who are already walking in furiance. Every single day they're infuriated by something. Now, one of the things that I would like to get to and make sure that we do not forget, with all of the other news going on today, CBS, they've had a week. They had this inept anchorette of Face the Nation, Margaret Brenner, who basically trying to attack J.D. Vance. She had Marco Rubio on as a guest. She was trying to attack J.D. Vance, make the fallacious argument that the obscene argument, actually, that Nazis, when they came to power, weaponized free speech. And that's what she was pretty much trying to accuse J.D. Vance of doing. Rubio shot it down immediately. Gave her a history lesson. There was no free speech in Nazi Germany. There was only one party. There's no analogy to Nazi Germany to what J.D. Vance did in his speech in Munich at the Munich summit. So you had that piece of ignorance. What I didn't play, and what we still have, we may get to on the weekend, you had then 60 Minutes going by, actually trailing German police as they do raids on people's houses because of things that they posted on social media. And you could tell they were glad to be there, proud of it. So you had that. And then today you had Delta Airlines. The CEO of Delta was on with Gayle King. Now, you know, ladies and gentlemen, or perhaps you know, I assume you know, we had a Delta Airlines mishap in Toronto. Wind shears apparently, and I say this, the investigation's not done yet, caught the plane, turned it upside down. Thank God all the passengers got out alive. It was incredible. And this was in the snow. Democrats have been trying to fix blame on Donald Trump. They've been trying to say, well, look, he's decimating the FAA. He's taking key people. What do you expect? Of course you're trying to blame. Eric Swalwell went so far as to say every plane crash that happened since Donald Trump took office is Donald Trump's fault. These people are shameless. So anyway, on with Gayle King this morning on CBS's morning show was the CEO of Delta Airlines. And this is how Gayle King chose her words and chose to question the CEO of Delta. And I must tell you, his answer is priceless.
The Trump administration recently fired many employees of the FAA administration. Do those cuts worry you? And do you think that impacts the safety? I know you just said it's the safest way to travel, but after looking at all these mishaps, a lot of people are very nervous. Do these cuts affect you?
The cuts do not affect us, Gayle. I've been in close communication with the Secretary of Transportation. I understand that the cuts at this time are something that are raising questions, but the reality is there's over 50,000 people that work at the FAA, and the cuts, I understand, were 300 people, and they were in non-critical safety functions. The Trump administration has committed to investing deeply in terms of improving the overall technologies that are used in the air traffic control systems and modernizing the skies. They've committed to hiring additional controllers and investigators and safety investigators. So, no, I'm not concerned with that at all.
Well, I guess we just destroyed that little attempt at slamming Trump. No, Gayle, please. They fired 300 people out of over 50,000, and those 300 had nothing to do, basically, with in any way that would compromise people flying on airplanes. In fact, Gayle, Joe Biden sat on his butt, vacations most of his presidency. Donald Trump and Elon Musk are actually talking about modernizing air safety in this country for the first time in ages. Gayle, And it's all over. You know, I have a story here somewhere. I know what. Let's turn to CNN, cut 7. I was about to say I have a story here somewhere about the Democrats and other Democrats saying, look, you know, this strategy we're having going up against Doge is a terrible strategy. Some Democrats are seeing it. They're saying, guys, stop this. These people are exposing things that need to be exposed, but the Democrats are not listening. But CNN's data guy, Harry Ensign, I'm telling you, this guy, they must hate when they see him coming on with his charts now because he sounds so just enthused. And I don't think he's being enthused because he agrees with the polls. He just loves his work, is my take on it. Loves finding these nuggets and explaining them to people. Well, he dropped a nugget on the Democrat Party today. And here is that nugget.
Donald Trump and the Republican Party has changed the electorate. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at party identification, Democrats versus Republicans.
Okay, let's
look. You go back to
look.
2017, 5 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. You go to 2021 when Joe Biden was starting out, look at that, 6 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. But look at what's happened in February of 2025.
What happened?
Look at this.
What happened?
Republicans, there are more Republicans in the electorate than there are Democrats. Republican plus 2. So Donald Trump and the Republicans have remade the electorate. They've turned some people over from being Democrats or independents to become Republicans. New folks have entered the electorate who are more Republican leaning. And so when you combine that with the fact that Republicans are really, really behind Donald Trump, all of a sudden you get a winning recipe whereby you break the normal rules of politics and give Donald Trump that positive net approval rating when he had pretty much a consistently negative one in term number 1. As I said at the beginning, he's copying Frank Sinatra, doing it my way.
Wow. Okay, we got to hit a quick break. Do you understand? I mean, folks, this is deep. There have been more Democrats in the entire electorate than Republicans. So when he says it swung from being plus 5 Democrats to now 2, just in the last 2, that's a 7-point swing in the electorate. There are more Republicans now, people calling themselves Republicans, than there are Democrats. Manfred Mann's Earth Band went to number 1 on this day in 1977. Their version of Bruce Springsteen's song, Blinded by the Light. James Golden, Snerdley. Keep it right here. Don't go away.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Oh, Snerdley.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
The year was 2004.
Love is a burning thing.
The family
and it makes a fiery ring
of Johnny Cash upset.
By wild desire,
advertisers
I fell into
for a hemorrhoid relief product wanted to use
fell into a burning ring of fire.
This song.
Down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns.
The family said,
fire, the ring of fire.
Well, the idea was said to have been backed by Merrill Kilgore, who co-wrote this song with Johnny Cash's wife, June Carter Cash. The Cash family, no, we are not going to let this song be demeaned.
I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns.
Having
burns.
this song associated with somebody's hemorrhoid problems.
The ring of fire.
A ring of fire.
Taste of love is sweet.
Taste? Oh, no.
When hearts like ours.
No way. So it didn't happen.
I fell for you like
One of my
child.
favorite Johnny Cash songs of all time.
Oh, but the fire went wild.
Yeah.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire.
James Golden with you here. You know what? Let me just do this really quickly. I want to get to this Lee Zeldin thing. Yesterday, I talked about what's going on in the UK, and it is astounding. So we have some time right now. I want to play this. Now, when J.D. Vance was overseas, he's talking about what's going on in England, in the UK. This event happened in Scotland, but it has also been reported in England. If people are standing outside, silently praying to themselves, the police will stop you. Go ahead and listen. Cut 9. Here's what it sounded like. Some of what it sounded like.
The world's richest man is cutting aid to the world's
No. That's cut 9 from today. I'm sorry. We got to do that. We got to do this differently. Yesterday we had cut 9. Okay. British police, and here they are.
Are you protesting?
No.
Are you here to pray for the lives of unborn children?
As I've mentioned to one of your colleagues before, I think that's a little bit of a leading question. No, I'm not, actually, today.
Can your actions be carried out elsewhere?
I'm not doing any actions. I'm just simply thinking silently in my head.
Okay. Why have you chosen this location to stand?
This is an abortion centre. I'm praying for those who've been hurt by abortion.
So, what I said before, are you here to pray for the lives of unborn children?
Yes.
So yes.
I said no.
You said no.
I'm praying for those who've been hurt by abortion.
Hurt by abortion?
Yes, that's right.
So are you aware there's a public space protection order in place here?
Yes, I don't know if you know, but I have actually been arrested twice. I've gone to court and been acquitted for allegedly my silent prayers. I've actually received an email from the police telling me I'm allowed to be in this area. I don't know if you're familiar with that situation at all.
This is exclusion area?
Yes, that's right. That's why I was arrested previously. So yes, I'm very much aware there's a PSPO in place.
We can fade it down. This is an exclusion area. You're not allowed to pray in an your prayers are excluded. Near an abortion. You can't think without us questioning you if you just stand there thinking to yourself silently. And this is what J.D. Vance was saying. Look, these are not consistent with European values as it used to be. And Democrats, of course, are ticked off at Vance for bringing this up. Folks, what is happening in Europe is astoundingly horrible. We'll be back. Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour continues.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Listen to me, baby.
1943.
You're old enough to know the makings of a man. Listen to me, baby. It's hard to settle down.
Lou Christie is born.
For you to stick around. Every boy wants a girl he can trust to
on this day.
And baby, that's you. Won't you wait? But
This was his big number 1 hit. And lightning would strike again for Lou Christie in 1966 on this day. His birthday, he went to number 1 with his big single, Lightning Strikes. A double hit, a birthday, and a number one on the same day, years apart. Luke Christie, lightning striking again. James Golden, Snerdley with you. Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. James Golden with you here about Snerdley's Rush Hour. Now, there's Jasmine Crockett is in the news. Thank goodness. These were posts. I don't have the audio. Folks, Jasmine Crockett has criticized many of you in America, Americans, as callous and selfish. She said, this is a problem that Democrats have had. We've significantly underestimated how callous and selfish some people are. We, she says of the Democrats, we've truly wanted to believe in the general goodness of humanity. The fact that people are okay with losing their jobs in health care, going into a Trump-induced recession, not being safe militarily, medicinally, digitally, while flying, etc., all in hopes that someone else will be hurt is wild. Actually, it's downright satanic. But this is where we are in this country. So Jasmine Crockett believes many of you apparently who support the efforts to root out this bloated, over-bloated government, the fact that people are losing their jobs, the fact that things are being turned over, means that you are selfish, you are satanic. This woman is calling you satanic because you are in favor of reforming a government that has been stealing your taxes, a portion of your taxes, for decades. Now, along with that, Chris Matthews, relic from punditry, very popular pundit 20 years ago. Chris Matthews back on PMSNBC. And listen to this violent-sounding rhetoric he is using to describe what's happening with the Trump administration and Democrats.
Well, there's a lot of rules out there about how to behave when you're losing. But, you know, the big problem is that Trump came in this second time, with a machine gun. And he fired so many shots. He said, first of all, the people that tried to kill Congress by attacking the U.S. Congress on January 6th, I'm going to pardon them all to let you know where I stand. I'm with them. That was a pretty clear statement. I'm with Article 2, not Article 1. I'm not with the Congress. I'm not looking out for you guys. And when it came time for advise and consent, which there's a whole book written about, and it was a big issue, the right of the Congress to say no to a cabinet appointment, he said, you're not going to do that because I'm going to shut you guys down, and he did. So Tillis and Cassidy,
it's called party
Collins,
discipline.
Nobody talked. They shut down the Congress. He said, I'm the boss.
He didn't shut it down. He is the leader of the party.
Said, basically, let's see, I'm going to have one of my guys over there is going to say that Germany should go to the right. Germany should move to the right. Now, there's an interesting foreign policy. I haven't seen that in the 20th century, certainly. Go to the right. And that's what his vice president said. I want you to accept the AfD, join the right, put up with them, not only put up with them, tolerate and use them. Bring them forth. Go to the right. Get to the right. You know, it's unbelievable. And then he treats little countries like Ukraine like they don't matter, Europe like it doesn't matter. He's the big boss at home and the big boss overseas, and nobody stands in his way. And I watch the Democrats and the media, too. It's very hard to take on a firing squad. A lot of bullets coming your way, all aiming at you, and you've got to shoot back in all directions at the same time. Nobody in the Democratic Party can say Schumer can't do it. He's a good leader. You know, Pelosi was a fabulous leader. But the ability to take on all the shots at once, now that's interesting. You know, Peter Baker can do it in the New York Times. You know, he's one of the few people who can actually lead a news story and talk about everything that's going on. And attack back. Why can't a Democratic leader stand up and say, what I just said? This guy's taking down the Congress. He's taking down the rights of the American people. He's the big boss overseas and back here. The big boss. Listen to him. Do what he says. Nobody's saying that. Chris Murphy's trying. I keep waiting. Who's going to stand up? Who's going to take a shot back at this guy? Why isn't Cory Booker doing it?
Who is going to take a shot back at Donald Trump? Who's going to take a shot back at Donald Trump? Asked Chris Matthews on MSNBC. And yeah, he's the boss. He's the boss. He's the boss. You know, that's what being the head of the party is, Chris. It's called the boss of the party. A party boss. You didn't complain when Obama was the party boss and all the Democrats marched lockstep. Those people were too fearful to even leak a story from inside the Obama White House. So shut the hell up. Really. I mean, you act like this is a first. Strong presidents have strength. That's what they are. Strong presidents. Nothing new about it. He acting like he's the boss. He is the boss of the Republican Party. And what we're seeing is finally, some discipline in the ranks for the most part. And we will see how long it lasts. But for the time being, there is some discipline in the Republican ranks. Thank goodness. That's what happens when you overwhelmingly win an election, Chris. It's not difficult. Okay. Now, I'm looking here because I got so many other things I could do. This is, by the way, quick aside. Play number 2. This is the scarf lady, Deborah Birx. And this is still floating around on social media today. There's a reason I play it. I'll tell you why. Yeah, just play it.
And what we've done wrong in public health is we didn't explain that COVID vaccines were nothing like the childhood vaccines, and that the childhood vaccines, like many of the diseases, you get it once, you don't get it again, and this is getting the children to have that disease without getting the deadly consequences. That is not what the COVID vaccine was designed to do. It wasn't designed to prevent against infection. Well.
So the reason I'm playing that today, aside from the fact that you didn't know, we did a poor job. We didn't explain the COVID vaccine wasn't like other vaccines. Wasn't designed to prevent it. That's what you told us at the time, that people would, when you were making people take it, well, that'll prevent you from getting, all of a sudden everything's changing. Too late. We remember what you said. This headline today, ladies and gentlemen, in the Daily Mail, Yale scientists link COVID vaccines to alarming new syndrome causing distinct biological changes to body. What? Experts, my friends from Yale University, have discovered an alarming syndrome linked to the mRNA COVID vaccines. The previously unknown condition, which has been dubbed post-vaccination syndrome, appears to cause brain fog, dizziness, tinnitus, the thing with your ears, the ringing in the ears, and exercise intolerance. Some sufferers show distinct biological changes, including differences in immune cells and the presence of coronavirus proteins in their bodies years after taking the shot. The condition also appears to reawaken a dormant virus in the body called Epstein-Barr, which can cause flu-like symptoms, swollen lymph nodes, and nerve issues. The full results of this small study have not yet been published, and the Yale experts emphasize the results are still a work in progress. Why do you suppose they did that? Could it be that they're just waving this as a red flag out there saying, hey guys, vaccine makers, are you noticing what we got here? I'm suspicious of everything these days when it comes to this vaccine. So imagine that. They didn't know. All right, I gotta get some other stories real quick here. Let's see. I'll have to hold on to the Stephen Miller. They're arguing with him on CNN, and so I'll hold the Stephen Miller stuff till tomorrow. But I gotta do this. This one, to me, one of the best stories of the day. Here it is. 3 migrants beat the Trump administration in court. The next day, they got deported. The future looked bright for Luis Eduardo Perez Parra, Leonel Rivas Gonzalez, and Abraham Jesus Barrios last week. After being held in immigration custody for over a year, facing the possibility of transfer to Gitmo, the 3 men asked the federal court to intervene, warning they might have disappeared into the legal black hole of Guantanamo. Last Sunday, a federal judge in New Mexico handed down a surprise ruling. They blocked the Trump administration from sending them into Gitmo, the first successful legal challenge to the policy since it was enacted last month. But their victory was short-lived. The very next day, the men were placed on the first deportation flight back to Venezuela in over a year, according to their lawyer. So they won a battle in court. No Gitmo for you. What did the Trump administration do? Fine. Don't want to go to Gitmo? Get out. You're going back to su casa. Oh, I suppose Jasmine will think that's very mean. But, oh well. I think there's some beauty in that. Beat him in court, but you're going home anyway. Oh, man. You know whose birthday it is today? You know I love this man. The one, the only. American singer, songwriter, record producer, record executive, Smokey Robinson. Happy birthday to the Smoke. Vice President, former Motown Records. Over 50 years in the business, 4,000 songs. To his songwriting credits, the one and the only Smokey Robinson. Also, today, the birthday, same day, same year, of Bobby Rogers, who was the tenor with the Miracles. So we've got 2 from Smokey and the Miracles, Smokey himself and Bobby Rogers. Happy birthday, heavenly birthday for Bobby Rogers. He passed away in 2013, 73 years old. James Golden, Snerdley. We're coming back with your telephone call, so don't go away.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Snerdley.
It's The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush.
Now, here's James Golden.
I remember where I was when I first heard about Seal and heard Seal. I was at Two Penn Plaza, WABC, then at the time was at Two Penn Plaza. Paulette Pettit, who was like the community service director, VP, said, you got to hear this guy. His album had just come out. Just come out that day or something. I listened to Seal. Blew my mind. And still does. His name is Henry Samuel. He's better known as Seal. 1991, this went to number 2. It was just the start. The music from Seal has just been amazing over the years. What a great artist. And great producers, by the way, work with him and engineers. Seal.
We get a little crazy. No one ever gonna survive unless we are a little crazy.
James Golden, a.k.a. Bo Snerdley, presents Rapid Phones.
Let's start with Bob in Yonkers. Bob, how are you this afternoon?
Okay, first-time caller. Listen, you have an infectious laugh. I love it. Trump is such a great leader that I'm already feeling sad that the guy can't run an additional 4 years. I say maybe the guy can run for vice president, but he's such a strong leader, he'll probably never do it. That's just a thought.
Just that he can't run for vice president because he'd be disqualified under the same reasons he can't not run for president for a third term. Vice presidency assumes that you would become president if something happened to the sitting president, and that clause would disqualify him from that. But it's a wonderful thought. Thank you. Sandra in New Jersey, you're up next. How are you?
Oh, good, James. I missed talking to you. I wanted to say that I want young Barron Trump, to have a good experience at NYU. And some young lady, she probably made a mistake. She called him odd. And she has a position in the Republican Club, I believe. And I think that I'd like to see Barron Trump encouraged that she gets her job back. And I would like to see her, maybe in her own style, apologize to him. And I'd love to see them.
Sandra, I saw the story. I'm sorry. I didn't see that the girl said anything wrong. Oh, she said he's kind of an odd duck. He just goes to class and goes home. Now, she didn't say anything mean about him. Saying someone is a little odd isn't mean. He's just he's a loner. He goes to school. He doesn't interact with his classmates much. Doesn't hang out. He goes to school, does his work, goes home. I don't think the girl should have even had to resign over it. It was a nothing burger.
No, I agree with you, but I'd like to see this become a friendship. That's all I'm saying. He is a little bit unusual. What?
Well, I'll leave that alone. I'm not going to get involved with the love lives of youngsters.
I mean, he needs a friend, so she can become the friend.
Yeah, friend to a nice young man. Yeah, that really works out well. I remember girls always wanting to be friends. Don't you remember that, Rich, back in the days before you were married, when girls wanted to be your friend? How'd that work out?
Yeah, not too good for me.
All right. Bad idea.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, man, we gotta go. I'm so sorry. Jacqueline, I'm so sorry. We gotta leave. Anyway, may God bless. Yeah, friends. Let's be friends. Let's be friends. Yeah. And then you say, stupidly, most guys say, oh, yeah, okay. And the entire time let's be friends. May God bless and protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude, my friends, for your being here with me, allowing me to be with you. God willing, we are back tomorrow for the Thursday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. And I'll look forward to it. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.